So what this is then, this is a prelim for what I am now going to put forward as the absolute best dialogue system or vlogging system or audio dialogue, blah blah, primarily in this instance for a smartphone, but also this will actually work on a number of other devices. Now what it is, Ian, you're likely to be watching this prelim, so what it is, this is the Neewer NW410 that you've sent me to have a play with. Right now it's got its Omni capsule on. Now what I'm going to say is the crux or the heart of this system is the Irig, because that's the thing that's given me such great audio. But I've had a little play now. This 410 I think is a fantastic microphone and it's amazing. And it really suits this system. Plus what it is, I'll show it in another take, but I've got it really small and as condensed as you can get a system like this. So basically the crux of this audio is obviously the Irig, because it's got its own, it does all of its own like A to D, and then it just bit streams into the phone and bypasses all the phone's dynamics and stuff like that, so I'm getting absolutely crystal clear audio pathway. It's still compressing it as far as its data is concerned, because it's going to an AAC file, but as far as its dynamics is concerned and compression of that nature, none of that stuff. Okay, so like I say, this is the Omni. There's a bit of a breeze going on, and I've also got the dead cat off me Rode Video Micro, which I think is a fairly good dead cat, and it works dead well. Okay, so this is the Omni. I'm just to the side here, so we'll see what that's picking up like, which should be fine. Now I'm right behind it as well. There's also traffic with me from behind, so we'll see what that's like. And now I'm at the other side of it as well, and so what I'll do now, I'll come back around to the front. Okay, so what it is, as far as this take's concerned, I think I've done everything I could do. So what I'll do now, I'm going to flip over onto the super or hyper, whatever that cardioid pattern is on this particular capsule. So this is now the hyper or the super, whatever it is. It's not a cardioid, it's the more focused one. Not entirely sure how much different it's going to be, but it definitely will be more directional, obviously, than the Omni capsule. And I think that, you know, for situations like this or these types of environments, this is going to be the one to go for. In fact, what I'll do with this, I didn't do this with the Omni, it just wouldn't have been worth it, but I'm going to come off here. So I'm probably, I mean, it's going to look a lot wider than what I am, but that's about 10 feet away now. In fact, I'll come all the way over here. Again, not that I would be doing something like this coming this far off anything, but it's worth the try anyway whilst I'm out here. I'm just hoping the face tracking picks me back up. No! Okay, so I'm probably out of focus on this take. Right, so basically what it is, I'm just going to do a bit of a cardioid test on this one. So I'm just off to the side here, so I'll talk a little bit. Not entirely sure how directional it is going to be. Yeah, it's obviously going to be, I'm right behind it now, by the way. So it's going to be obviously more directional than what an Omni is. Right, so you just want to wait, there's some traffic with me while I'm behind this. There's a little bit of traffic there. See how that kind of fares about, you know, against picking me out against the rest of the traffic. I'm at the side of it now, the other side. So this is the left hand, or yeah, the left hand as I look at the screen, and then I'll come back into the shot. Now there's a lot of traffic just gone by there, so it'll be very interesting to hear exactly how much of me that's going to be kind of picking up as opposed to all the stuff that's going on from behind. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same two things again, the Omni and also this super or hyper, but this time I'm going to do it with the Smartrig. Now obviously I think I've just mentioned it on the Omni take. This is definitely the absolute best you can get audio wise, or at least the interfaces. Doing its D2A externally and just bit streaming it straight in. But the weird thing is though, and again Ian, thanks for letting me borrow this to test, but I've got a feeling that this microphone is going to be absolutely perfect for this type of thing. It just seems that it's the right size. It'll plug straight in the end. Of course, there's going to be microphones that might be a little better than it, but I don't think that you're going to hear them differences other than critical recording stuff, like in a proper, like, you know, proper room indoors, should we say. outdoors, I don't think once you get to something like this microphone, which is very, very good for what it is, I don't think there's a huge difference in it these days with a microphone that's like kind of, you might say, oh, it's an okay mic compared to like it's an amazing mic. I think this one is probably a brilliant microphone for this type of stuff and married up to this kind of this kind of interface. Anyway, I'm rambling, I'll stop it, and now what I'll do, I'll get over onto the Saramonic. Okay, so I'm now on to the Saramonic, and it's the Omni as well to start off with. Now the other thing as well that I don't know if I've gauged it right, the levels that I'm using for the gain on the Irig and then the gain on the Saramonic, I've done these from indoors. Now I'm hoping I'm not like overloading anything with these settings, only because obviously I'm outdoors now and you do tend to go a bit louder, especially when you're by traffic. Okay, so like let me just show what this is here now. So the way that I've got the Irig set up, I've basically got one of these little clamp systems, and then what I've done in the bottom of it, I've put a 5/8 adapter there, and then what I do, I clamp onto that like that, and then literally just pop the mic on the end. It couldn't get any more condensed and smaller. It's amazing. Yeah, and thanks again, Ian, for sending this mic down, because I've got a feeling this is the final piece to me jigsaw for like, you know, the ultimate dialogue system for like, you know, vlog. I mean, I keep saying vlogging. This is anything. This is interviewing, anything you want it to be. Now, unfortunately, when it's on this particular system, it's a bit limited as far as the devices, because you couldn't use this on a camcorder. And unfortunately, although it's USB-C, that end won't work on a GoPro because it doesn't use the same protocol. But what it's perfect for is this, which is the smartphone stuff, and this is the thing that I've been trying to get, you know, properly right. Now, the other thing is, I'm now obviously onto the Saramonic, but because, like I've been explaining, this has got it goes into the analog input of the phone, just subject to what this is going to do. Now, as I've proven indoors with the earlier test, the phone does add a base level of just like self-hiss. Now, the thing is, being outdoors, it's arguable as to whether or not we're going to hear that hiss anyway, because of the, you know, the surroundings. But I've got a feeling as well that the mic will have sounded better on this than on the Saramonic, and it's got nothing to do with the Saramonic. It's just, you know, because of the foam. Anyway, I'm just going to come off to the side here. So again, directional test with the Omni with the Saramonic, and then I'm just going to come right behind. I mean, I might as well do this test, although we kind of know what's going to happen here. And then what I'll do, I'll just come across to the other side here. So that's all cool. So like, I'll come back to the front again. In fact, you know what I will do? I'll just walk off a little bit, because this isn't such a crazy distance, especially if you were somewhere outdoors, you know, quieter. I mean, like, you know, somewhere which is like more naturey and stuff, where you don't have traffic. The Omni, I think, would be fantastic. And then I'll just come over here a bit. Let's see. It's not worth me really going crazy distances again, with it being the Omni and where I am. Oh, excuse me, where I am now. I mean, it's only when the traffic dies down you're going to get a grip of this. Okay, so I think, yeah, that'll be enough for this take. So what I'm going to do now is flip over onto the Super or the Hyper, whatever it is. Okay, so I'm over onto the Cardioid, Super Hyper, whatever it is. Again, still on the Saramonic. Now, I'll keep this one a little bit shorter because I've kind of gone through everything here. My only concern really right now is that I've got the levels not too high as far as the recording gain is concerned on the Saramonic and also on the Irig. The levels that I've got here were what I was using indoors, like I was just saying on the previous take, and they seem fine. Obviously, well, for the time that it is now, I really thought the traffic would have kind of died off a bit, but it hasn't, which makes this a great test as well, though, because I'm getting to, you know, see what it's like in this environment. Okay, I'll just walk off a little bit as well. I've already done this before with this Super Hypercardioid capsule or whatever it is. Now, I'm only trying it on this as well, just because it's a different interface that it's going in. The interface obviously isn't going to alter the cardioid characteristics, it's just maybe sensitivity or something. Now, I might look like I'm being a bit shady here looking around, but I don't know. I've mentioned this in another prelim. This path that I'm on here, there's this real nasty dog gets taken for a walk here. You know, one of them real horrible ones, and you see that, you know what it is, it's got that ridge down the spine where all the hair goes up and stuff when they look like they're about to get angry, and that dog is permanently angry. It's one of them dogs, when you look at it, you just wouldn't trust it, and the owner looks like a complete tool as well. You know what I mean? The type who probably wouldn't really care if his dog went for someone properly. Yeah, I just don't like it. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. So anyway, yeah, what I'll do the cardio test from with the Saramonic and the Super or the Hyper. I think it's actually a Super, not a Hyper actually. I think it's very rare to get a Hyper which isn't in shotgun form. Although Sennheiser do one, but it's a fair bit different in price compared to this one. Okay, so I think that kind of like will give me all that I need here as far as this test is concerned. So yeah, hopefully this is going to be like the last word, as it were, in interfacing for these types of things, because there's two interfaces here. Obviously the first one has been the Irig, so that's going to give me like me absolute like ultimate bestest ever interface, which obviously I've been using indoors with the Rode NT1A, and you've never heard audio like it. But obviously to come outdoors with it, and if I can put a mic like this in, which I think is going to sound great, or you know, any mic you want, you know, you can boom mics on it and whatnot, but more importantly with this microphone, the way that it slots in straight into the, you know, into the Irig or the Saramonic, because it's connected straight to the Saramonic now as well. The fact that it does that, it breaks down small in your pockets. This is all pocketable, by the way. Bit of a push, but it's all pocketable, obviously, other than the tripod. But you literally just clamp it all together within 30 seconds, slam it on, and it's going. So you've basically got the option of like the ultimate like analog to digital converter phantom preamp, which then just bit streams in over USB, or the cheaper option of this. And again, I've still yet to listen back to this, but it may end up that in certain scenarios like this, where it's like really noisy, maybe there isn't a huge difference between the Saramonic and the Irig with the same microphone on it, although I'm not too sure whether that's going to be the case anyway, because I think the analog input on most phones really does do a number on the audio. Anyway, that's way too much waffling from me. So what I'm going to do now is do some silence tests, which aren't really testing for silence. It's probably more just like noise pickup. And then I'll finish off with me obligatory count test. Oh yeah, and oh, by the way, Ian, once again, thank you for loaning me this microphone. It's amazing! One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.